Before the Scrum Guide version 2020, the developers need to answer 3 questions during the daily Scrum. But now in Scrum Guide 2020, it's no longer prescribed. On one side, I think this change gives more flexibility for the developers in running the daily Scrum. But on the other side, I also noticed that some people who are new to Scrum found the ambiguities in Scrum Guide 2020 can be confusing. So in today's video, I will share with you practical tips on how to run the daily Scrum with Kanban. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, as I'll be back right after this one. Hey, what's good this week, awesome people? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Joshua Partugi, and I would like to personally welcome you on board to our community of passionate change makers. Today's video is the continuation of my video about sprint planning. If you haven't watched that video, you can click the link up here to watch that video first. I'm also going to demonstrate how the developers run the daily Scrum with Kanban using a tool called Kanbanize. I have advised many Scrum teams to use Kanbanize, as it can generate flow metrics that can be used for all of the Scrum events. As a full disclosure to all of you, Kanbanize is supporting today's video. Keep in mind that Kanban is not part of Scrum. It is just one of the many complementary practices out there that you can use with Scrum. Please also keep in mind that Kanban is much more than boards with columns and swim lanes. I will not cover Kanban in detail in today's video. If you want to learn more about how to use Scrum with Kanban, you can watch the video by clicking the link up here. As written on Scrum Guide version 2020, the daily Scrum is an opportunity for the developers to synchronize information and to create tactics for achieving the sprint goal they have agreed together with the whole Scrum team during sprint planning. Keep in mind that only the developers who join the daily Scrum, and the developers are not only limited to software engineers. The developers in the Scrum team are not limited to only software engineers, as some people understood. Everyone who has the skills to develop the product, for example, designers, user experience professionals, marketing professionals, system architects, analysts, test engineers, technical writers, are also considered as the developers in the Scrum team. They all attend the daily Scrum. In your context, the developers in the Scrum team may consist of different composition of skill sets, depending on the product being developed by the developers. If you're still unsure who are referred as the developers in the Scrum team according to Scrum Guide 2020, you can click the link up here to watch the video I've already made about the developers in the Scrum team. Daily Scrum is not about reporting the status of the work done by each developer. Daily Scrum is about creating daily tactics for achieving the sprint goal. It's a big difference. If the developers are developing products to solve a complex problem as defined in Scrum Guide, most likely they need to create tactics daily. To give you a little bit of context, here is an example of an outcome-driven sprint goal the developers will inspect during the daily Scrum until the end of the sprint. Just like what you have already seen on my sprint planning video. During the daily Scrum, the developers can replan the initial plan they made during sprint planning, but the sprint goal remains sacrosanct until the end of the sprint. Scrum is a goal-driven framework. When the Scrum team uses Kanban, during the daily Scrum, the developers will scan through their Kanban board from the right towards the left. But it doesn't just stop at scanning the Kanban board. As the daily Scrum focuses on the sprint goal, the developers will also ask each other which product backlog items they should process today before the next daily Scrum so they can achieve the sprint goal, and which product backlog items are currently blocking them from achieving the sprint goal. When answering the 2 questions that I have just mentioned, the developer should emphasize on the items on the Kanban board and the sprint goal rather than the individual developers doing the work. It's a big difference. When the Scrum team is using Kanban, during the daily Scrum, the developers look at the aging work in process chart and also the items with cycle time that have already exceeded or will likely exceed the service level expectation or SLE that they have agreed on. The aging work in process chart is built in Kanbanize. Kanban is a pull system rather than a push system. Whenever the developers self-manage to pull any product backlog items on their Kanban board, they must not violate their work in process or WIP limit. When the developers run their daily Scrum according to the approach that I have just shared with you, from my personal experience, the daily Scrum should not take more than 15 minutes. One last thing the developers need to do to ensure the daily Scrum does not take more than 15 minutes is to solve any problems they found right after the daily Scrum, not during the daily Scrum. After the daily Scrum, Some developers may be collaborating with one another to solve the problem or to remove the blockers. It requires openness and humility from the developers to collaborate and to learn something new with the other team members who have different skills and even different job titles to them. For example, after the daily scrum, someone with business analysis skill may pair with someone who has test engineering skill to test the increment or to write the test automation scripts together. People with software engineering skills and those who have design and user experience skills together may create an experiment to validate a hypothesis. After the daily scrum, the developers may also need to talk to the product owner about reducing the scope of work or the level of fidelity of the work. The developers must always keep the sprint goal in mind whenever negotiating with the product owner is needed. As I have mentioned on my sprint planning video, the Scrum team has succeeded when they meet the sprint goal even if they deliver less amount of items than what they have planned during sprint planning. Keep that in mind, folks. So, to wrap this up, the developer should just focus on 3 things during the daily scrum. They should focus on the sprint goal, focus on creating tactics, and focus on optimizing the flow of value delivery. They can use Kanban as a strategy for optimizing flow. If you're a Scrum Master, empower the developers to self-manage and do their magic. Thank you folks for watching today's video. I hope today's video gives you some ideas on how to run an effective daily scrum with Kanban. As I mentioned earlier, today's video is supported by Kanbanize. If you would like to try Kanbanize in your Scrum team and subscribe to it, you can use the referral link down here. Because transparency is one of the 3 pillars of Scrum, as a full disclosure, I will get a commission every time any of you subscribe to Kanbanize from that referral link. Every commission I get will help grow this channel. Thank you folks for your continued support of this channel. Your support of this channel can enable more Scrum teams to do professional Scrum. That is all for today folks. Don't forget to smash that like button down below. And also to subscribe to my channel because I will upload more videos in the future that can help improve your Scrum team's effectiveness and also your organization's state of agility. And for those of you who aspire to be an awesome Scrum Master, you can also subscribe to my podcast either on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts. You can search my podcast name using the keywords Think and Act Like a Scrum Master. And while you wait for my next YouTube video or my next podcast episode, you can click the thumbnails here to watch the other videos currently available on this channel. Until then, don't forget to stay safe and stay awesome.